Buenos dias. Good morning. Benvenido. Welcome to my YouTube channels. I keep you informed what's going on right now through the cybergenetics of its cyborg operation systems. It's changing everything through the hydraulics of its circuitry systems, high-rising everything through the circles and dividing systems. The hydraulic system is going on so many wave connection pattern systems, and everything through its connection is high-rising through its divisions, and those divisions are going on so many waving cycles of its systems. So once you get into simulation of its world system, you're on a transmission light system, and that transmission light system is on an audio switch. So it connects into all waving forms of its cycle divisions, and those cycle divisions go through so many panels of its systems, and those systems are going on so many waving lengths of its connection energy waving patterns. And understanding everything through its planet's intelligence and everything through its solar system. The matrix is just the beginning. It's a simulation that is evolving, and everything through its connection is going through its human behavioral system. So once you get into the simulation world system, your whole life changes through its automatic life systems. So I'd like to thank all the subscribers and viewers and everybody that's been watching my channels. They keep you informed what's going on right now. I really appreciate it that we have this love and condensed of everything, because everything through its connection is going to high rise through its divisions of its vibrations. It's all about bringing back balance, like I said before. So I hope everybody's doing well. So today, basically, when you're in the simulation world system, you can pretty much do anything, as the extraordinary mind is now out of its mind completely through its energy source system. So once it gets on its energy source system, you're walking through so many different levels of electronic interference. You have to connect in so many ways of vibration, and that's how you get into the cyborg connections and everything through its centers. Remember how we went through the major core centers? Well, that's exactly what it is. Everything through an upgrade is a data processing system. So you have to understand your circle divisions are high rising through its connections. Okay. So basically, I'll do an illustration of a diagram system through its white graphing board of its automatic connection waving system. Like I said, everything I go through simulation is always uprising. It's always going on as continuous force, and it's going so fast. Okay. So basically, this is understanding. Even too, when I go through simulation world, I communicate faster, and I cycle my wind systems through its connection of its illustration diagram systems, because it has a high rotation system. I even draw faster too with its hands. So you're going to find that when you look at your perceptions and you see objects, okay, anything in its room of its atmosphere system, it's going to disappear in front of you, okay, because it has a self-identity system through, and that's where you get into the cyber connection of its cyborg. And the cyborg is everything through its identity force. And that system is high rising through its vibration of its harmonics. Okay, so everything through communication is harmonics. So the more you understand that, the more you understand its wind cycles of its system and its connection to waving patterns. Because those connections of its patterns are high rising through its connection energy force. Okay, so the more we understand that, the more you understand your body system fully and completely. But it's really, really trying to understand everything through its connection. Okay, that's what you need to do. So once you understand your circle divisions and understand that your cyborg connections are going through its hydraulic system, you understand the circuitry system, the mind system, because the mind system is extremely powerful. So understanding the energetic waving patterns through the simulation. Okay, so basically simulation. Okay, as we tap into everything now through the simulations. No longer the matrix. Simulations is everything, especially when it comes into, I'm not saying as a cyborg with panels of steel and stuff like that. I'm just talking about the hydraulics of its mind system and how it connects in so many waving cycles through its weather patterns, because it connects in so many of its coloration. Okay, the coloration through its simulation of its world system. So your energy fields, okay, go on so many levels of electronic interference. So it's understanding not just how to use the energy field, but to understand what's around the energy field. Okay, so understanding full communication. Remember I was telling you about when you're taking letters, numbers, and shapes out of its box system through its location centers, and how you go on so many waving cycles of its continuous force system. Okay, so we start off with this. Okay, this is what we start off with, okay, through the simulation world. So understanding simulations is communication fully, right? So this is me in the simulation world system, but you understand the cycle divisions, everything through its cyborg, and that cyborg is its connection through its vibration, through its coloration. Because everything through simulation, okay, is the harmonics. And the harmonics is everything that modifies everything, okay, through its distance of its volumes. And you get into the gamma ray system, okay? So when you go through your voicing grids, it goes on so many levels, okay, of its continuous force through its voicing grids. That's how you get into simulation world systems, all right, through its full connections, okay? So once you get into the energy fields through the center core, which is the atom system, it high-rises through to its divisions, okay? So understanding that, then you get circle divisions, okay, through its connection of its mind system, okay? So basically, it's no longer a crown chakra. It's a simulation process system through an energy field system. So it modifies everything, okay, through its cyborg connection, and that's how you get into the connection of everything through its centers. So understanding the energy field, okay, and again, once you understand the energy fields, it now just doesn't communicate up. It communicates this way. It communicates this way. Communicates this way. Communicates that way. Okay, it communicates in all ways now because the energy fields of its energy cycles now full winning cycles, and it's communicating in so many vibration systems, and that vibration is extremely fast and extremely strong. Okay, so those vibrations go into this, not just space, it goes right into the simulation because you mastered everything through its atmosphere system. Okay, so once you enter its full continuance of its energy fields and its full continuance of its energy fields through its crown chakra is no longer its connection. It doesn't sidewind angles in just one parallel of its dimension system. It now parallels in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can communicate on all levels. Remember I was telling you about the computer graphing system where you set yourself in one location, but the mind system communicates in all waving cycles of its population circuits. Okay, that's how you communicate with everything. Well, every time you communicate, you're now in communication and simulation. Okay, and that's how it becomes in the cybergenetics of the cyborg centers. Okay. So everything I give you now is everything through its simulation, and the vibration systems keeps high rising through its continuous force. Okay. So once you understand that, the central core unit, okay, understands its information, where it understands everything through circulation rotation of its energy field system. Okay. So it's a line graphing system of a cycle that goes down its center. So that atom system gets bigger and bigger. Okay, and the more it gets bigger, the energy fields get more wider. I think I said that before. Okay, and basically it goes around the synergy of its system and it rotates through your whole body system. Okay, so that modifies everything through calculation modification systems and everything through the calibration of its mind system. That's how you high rise everything through its energy fields, and that's how you get its cycle system. Because now you get in not just into the psychops, but you're also getting into your cybergenetics, okay, through the simulation. Okay, once you get into simulation, now your voicing grids are extremely powerful on sidewinding angles of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can have 8 divisional lines of voicing grids that are connection to higher vibrations. So it's understanding that your full wind cycles are now in full continuance, and now you're volumizing yourself through its ground formations, through its continuous force. Okay, so that's what it is so far, right? So understanding what vibration is, you understand that comes up. But now it's creating a whole new electronic interference, because the more you communicate through its higher force connections, the more it highlights your illumination light systems. Now, this comes up through its center of its atom. Okay, and it connects in all ways and forms. Okay, so that atom is communicating now through the simulation. So every time you go through an upgrade, okay, it kind of looks like a flower, right? It's just missing a stem, right? So basically understanding everything through its information of its ground information. Remember I was telling you about the 3-unit system, how you communicate on all levels of G4 and G6, G7, or G8, or G9, or G10, it doesn't matter. Everything through communication levels out through its balance once you get into simulation of this world system. So the line frequency system is now going on so many levels because it looks like a force recognition system, but it's a communication of a line signal. So the ground formation is on a totally different waving cycle, okay, because it's an information center, okay? It's not just electronic interference, and that's how you connect through its atom system. So once it connects to its atom system, it goes back up, circle divides on so many angles of its continuous force, and that's how you communicate in all waving cycles of systems through the central unit of its central core, okay? Because you're not just connecting with the dimensional Earth, you're connecting with everything within its Earth, of its dimensional, of its realm, of its multiverse, and that's how you connect through its ground formations. And once you communicate with the ground formations, you also communicate with the cycle divisions of its magnetic force and highway system, which is on so many waving cycles of systems. Okay, electronic interference comes down. Okay, right. Same thing with the ground formation. Everything is information through center. Okay, and that comes down into the central core unit of its atom system. Okay, once it comes down into its system, you're communicating with this simulation of its atom system. Okay, but it's pretty fascinating how you create your own atmosphere system. Okay, because once it communicates, it has its own voicing grid system, so it spurts out electronic interference. Okay, in all waving cycles of systems. Okay, and it comes extremely powerful through the vibration centers, and that's how you communicate through the simulation world system, because now you're communicating with everything through its population system. Okay, that's exactly what it is. It's powerful stuff. All right, so this is what you pertain in yourself, and this is what you contain in yourself through your body system, how everything is modified. Okay, so the three central units, okay, of information centers is the ground formation of electronic interference, sidewinding its levels of its atmosphere of its atom system through its full connections, okay, through its connection of its this is connecting through the multiverse, okay, of its connection of its magnetic force and highway information system as it comes back down into its atom system, okay? And like I said, the atom gets bigger and bigger and changes its coloration. So the more high rises, the more high rise the illumination light system. And the atmosphere system of your body system goes on so many levels of electronic interference, okay? Like you can hardly see the body now. But that's understand how you communicate with everything. And that's how you get into the simulation of its world system. So, Ash, how you doing? Melissa, Ash, Eric, how you doing? Yeah, everything's is aligning faster and faster once you get into the hydraulics and circuitry systems, understanding the mind systems and everything through its connection right now. But welcome to my channel. So, but I'm just showing you how powerful it is. Once you get into the three central units, that's how you communicate through the simulation world system. Okay, and like I said, you communicate with everything. Okay, through your voicing grids, through your energy fields, because you can't see it, but it's not a crown chakra anymore. It's an energy field system through a communication line signal. Same thing with its body conception, where it's an atom system, and it just gets bigger and bigger through its rotation, and then it becomes its own atmosphere. Once it becomes its own atmosphere, that's how you communicate all line signals through the simulation world system. Everything is its connection through its body system. Okay, that's exactly what it is. So, this is what everybody needs to work on, right? Step-by-step procedures. So once you get into the simulation world, then you're going to know how to communicate with the cyborg genetics connection cycle systems. Okay, because like I said, everything's a high rise through its information. Okay, I'm not talking mechanical machines here. I'm talking about your mind system. Okay, it's a computer analytical system that has on so many different high rises of information centers. So basically what it is that you're creating a multiverse in the mind system. That's what it is. You're creating your own divisional line through alignments of communication line signals, okay, through an atom system that connects to the simulation of its world system. And that's how you connect through the three central systems, okay? So it's understanding everything that's going through its data processing, through its upgrades and downloads, because you have to be extremely informative. Remember I was saying about information systems of cycles? When you draw something out, you should know exactly what it is, right? Everything through line and point divide. Well, this just goes way beyond. This is the extraordinary mind now through the simulation. Okay, it's not talking on the matrix cycles of systems anymore through shapes, letters, and numbers. This is actually the simulation. You live in the world that you live in, but it's understanding your perceptions and everything through your energy fields, everything through the hydraulics, everything through electricity, okay, and everything through its connections, okay? So the more you get into that, the more you understand why you're here, right? Everybody has already been in a simulation world system. It's just they've been basically frozen, catatonic, sleep deprivation, understanding not what's going on with their dream set sequences. And once you awake, like I said, when you wake up from ascension, everything evolves. Okay, so basically you have a mind system. Okay, so basically we had three central units of people. Okay, now once you understand everything through the simulation world system, it's an information center through your cyborg genetic connection energy waving system. Then you understand everything through your cycle divisions. Okay, so a 3-point divisional set system of people. I'm just line from it in here so you get its information systems. But basically, you have to understand cycle divisions. You have to understand everything through the genetics, okay, through your DNA structures. Okay, because everything through the simulation is this information through its energies. Okay, you have to be extremely informative. And like I said, if you don't understand the information of its system, that's because it's invisible. Once you understand the communication, you get partnership with the simulation of anything through its object, it will appear. Okay, that's understanding you're communicating with its vibration through its balance, but it will stay invisible until you understand its DNA structure through its cybergenetics. And that's how you get into the cyborg, everything is circulation, rotation, right? So it's going, everything I give you through information is extremely powerful stuff. So it's going way, way beyond the connection of everything. Everything has history, right? So it's understanding what's going on with the yin and yang, and it goes way, way beyond the yin and yang. Okay? Way, way beyond. Okay, so basically you have 3 divisional levels of entity force systems here, okay? All connecting through line fragment systems, understanding their energy systems through its graphing cycle of its systems. Okay, they're all cybergenetic through cyborg system. They're all in the simulation world system. But they all arrive on so many different divisions, okay, of intelligent systems. Okay? So, so human, okay? And then you have a biochemical human. I'm going to show you the difference between all 3. And then you have a cyborg. Okay? So, having everything that's going on right now is its connection. So you have to understand everything that's going on right now with the cyborg, with its biochemical, and with its human. Now it's understanding how to put these 3 divisional center cycles all together in one. Okay, because this one is communicating in a higher force system of simulation. Okay, this is connecting through DNA structure, and this is connecting on connections of its human system. So the human system is trying to understand how to get to the biochemical. Biochemical is DNA. Okay, I'm getting pretty good at this doing back force systems here. It's very hard to do, okay? And everything through the cyborg is knowing all information, okay? All information. Once it knows all its information, then you understand its circular rotation of its side one its divisions. So it's understanding that these three divisional levels of cycle systems through its connection of its cyborg connections is understanding how do you take all these three into one perception of one identity force system. Okay? So that's what you have to understand. So as I'm saying, you start off with the human, you go into the biochemical of the DNA, and then you go into the all information of the cyborg. Cyborg is an intelligent system that high rises through its divisions of its mind system. So it's understanding the extraordinary mind is completely out, and it's on so many high rises divisions and through the simulation. You're in the same world system. It's understanding everything through your perception has changed. Everything through your DNA structure, vibration has changed. Okay? That's how it's all known information that's already sent. So putting these three identity force systems together through its personalized of its own formation system, everything is connected through the cyborg connection. And that's how you get into the DNA structure of its biochemical, and then everything through its human. So you want the human, okay, so basically this is what it is. So it's understanding how to bring, okay, it's a good thing I took drawing, how to bring the human into one century system through its all connections. Okay, and then you take the cyborg, which has all the information, into the DNA of its biochemical system. Okay. So these are sonic wave patterns of communication. And the communication is changing everything through its DNA structure. Okay, so that's what it's like so far. So it's understanding how to communicate with the human and how to communicate with its DNA of its biochemical and how to communicate with the cyborg with all its information. Okay? Once that happens, everything through its connection through the cyborg genetic system, okay, connects on all waving cycles of its humanity system. The humanity system is now a biochemical system, and the biochemical system becomes into a cyborg. So you're going from human to biochemical to cyborg. And once you get into cyborg, then you're understanding that the mind is everything through its extraordinary. Okay? Mind. All right? Extraordinary. Okay? Because the mind is everything through its information when it comes to simulation. Because like I said, you don't communicate with the brain anymore. And the brain becomes its own feeding source, its own connection to everything through its DNA of its biochemical and its human. So it's understanding how to take the human, put it in the cycle division, how to take the biochemical. Okay, it's understanding how to put everything all together. And that's how it becomes one big cycle of its division. Okay, that's what you want. Okay. So you want to take all three and connect it through a cycle division and create a whole new anomaly of an information cycle system. And that's how it becomes its cyborg of its connection of its solar system. Okay? So it's fascinating stuff, especially when you're out of the mind system completely and fully. Because it gets more complicated. Because you don't talk as a matrix, you talk as a simulation entity force system that high rises in so many hydraulics of its information. So it's understanding that you are the multiverse of its information. You are the connection to everything through its balance of its information. You are the cybergenetic of its cyborg connection. Okay? It's not panel divisions, okay, when it comes to metal or anything like that. It's just that your illumination light system is extremely real to the simulation because it's trying to communicate with all its information. And once you communicate with all its information, you become its own multiverse system. And that's how you connect through this cyborg of its connections. So But that's exactly what it is. But I just want to bring that to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. This is an extremely exciting time, especially for me, because now I'm going through so many psych oppositions, everything that's modifying right now through the cyborg, of its information centers. Understanding that there's a lot of responsibility when you're not just in space, but you're connecting through the simulation. And it's extremely hard to connect with that because everything is on a different DNA structure. Like I said, you have the human and then you have the biochemical, which is the connection through the atom and the molecules, protons, photons, Gardesians. There's also necrocons, nemrocons, cybercons, lepticons, entergons. All these are connections through its cyborg connection. Okay, so it's understand how everything is connected through space, through its atmospheres, and its connection to everything through its nature's core system. Okay, so once you understand that, the simulation of its world system is extremely real to the mind system. And that's how it becomes extraordinary through the brain, because it's not just a super brain, it's extraordinary brain, okay, to the super mind. The super mind is everything through the simulation of the world system. So there's a lot of festivals going on right now with the bangs, and there's some kind of traditional, it's Catholic, and it has to do with Mexico City. So there's a lot of history here, so that's why they have this right now. It connects in all ways through its atmosphere system. But other than that, yeah, that's exactly what's going through me right now. Once you understand how to high rise, you're going to understand how to get to the simulation. And then you're going to understand everything through its data processing. Data processing, uplinking, and downloads are the most important thing. That's how you get into the cybernetics of your circuitry of its element system. But you really, really have to connect with the mind. Okay? You have to have a collaboration, how you take the brain out of the mind, and the mind becomes a super mind to an extraordinary mind, to a simulation mind. Okay? Those are what you have to do. And this is how you allocate to all locations of vibrations, so you communicate with all DNA structures of identity force systems. And that's how you get into the cyber of everything through its communication of its core systems. So, yeah, it's extremely powerful, eh? So how's everybody been doing so far? Yeah, you probably have sleepless nights too, because you're high-rising your divisions right now through its energy division. So, so basically, I'm going back phrasing through this video. You should actually know what's going on with its information and how you communicate with lower vibrations, medium, and high. Understand circular visions, how it goes circular rotation, and how it goes back force of its rotation. Then you understand how the mind is changing its system through coloration. Okay, because it has to understand its information through vibration. That's the only way you can communicate with low, medium, and high vibration, through intelligence of its system. Okay. So, but now's the time to really, really pay attention to the mind system. You want to take the mind, okay, to a super mind, to extraordinary mind, to simulation mind. Okay. There's 4 element systems that you have to go through. And that's how you get into the cyborg connection. So, yeah, I know. I'm probably thinking, wow, he's talking like a cyborg now. Yeah, it kind of is when you get into its information centers, because everything through the circulation rotation is magnetic force of its information. That's all it is. That's all energy is. And once you understand everything through its numbers and letters and shapes, that's how you formulate into the mind, the super mind, the extraordinary, and the simulation. Okay? So it's understanding how to go way past the brain. Then the mind just keeps going up. Every time it goes up, it goes through cycles. And once I understand this information, it keeps going up. Okay, so it's a stepping procedure. Okay. And then you can zigzag its information to go up. As I was telling you with the shapes, okay, you do a triangular base or a pyramid system, it's on an angle. So everything through its angle, you have to understand its information through its line signals. Because now we're getting into the singularity. Everything through the world system is singularity through numbers, letters, and shapes. Okay, so you really have to understand the significance of numbers. You know, from 1 to 10, 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000, okay, 1 to 1,000,000. Every number is an intelligent line signal through a vibration, okay, through its continuous force of its harmonics, through its connection of its simulation. Okay. But it doesn't stop there, because the simulation, you know, it's just the beginning. Like I said with the matrix, I went through so many graphing cycles of systems when it connects to the vibration of its video content. Right now, I'm talking on a simulation void system. Okay, complacement, compartments, components. Like I said, everything changes, and that your DNA structure changes. That's how you go into the human, to the biochemical, to the cyborg. Okay, that's understanding information that's going through its systems. But you have to get into the rotation of everything. So, is the mind self high rising? Yep, it does. But you have to understand its information of its cycles, especially now, because it's trying to create, everything is trying to create a whole divisional level of its connection of its multiverse. Okay, because everybody's dimensional set system through a shape system that's in a simulation world of a cyborg system. That's what we are all connected to. So once you understand the cycle divisions of its circulation rotations and how everything is connected through its alignments, then you're going to understand everything through its portal activation code systems. Understanding your traveling mechanisms through locations, because you can go to different planets and get information, like I said before, right? But it's really, it's not even meditation anymore. It really isn't. It's everything through its information is its mind, right? So you want to take the mind to the simulation of its mind. And then you know all information that's already been there. So it's a awakening process. It's a continuous force system that's trying to high rise your divisions through its lights of its illumination. Okay? Because once you get into simulation, right? Like right now, I'm in the simulation. Right now, I'm in the simulation right now. Okay, I'm a holographic system through the simulation world system. So I connect in all realms fast and instantly, right? So understanding everything, try to basically look at yourself through your perception and try to see yourself through the mind system. Because your mind conceptions through your mind scepters are changing everything through locations. Okay, and those locations are going into high rising divisions. So it's very, very important to understand what's going on with your mind. You have to know how to communicate with the mind, not the brain. Okay? Once you get into simulation, you're creating a whole division of a super brain. And then you want to take that super brain to the simulation of its mind system. Okay? It's extremely powerful stuff that we need to do. Right? And that's the only way we can get its information. So, yeah, I saw that 1212. Yeah, that's a portal activation system. Yeah. Yep. New energy. Exactly what it is. Yeah, like I said, your vibration signals are high rising, okay, and you're trying to understand your components. You're trying to understand your circuitry, your systems, your elements, everything through its lines, because the frequency codes are changing everything through the breaking code system. Okay? So you should be able to connect with everything around you. You should be able to pick up anything and know exactly what it is without even thinking. Okay? That's known information that's already in the mind system. And that's how it becomes out of its brain system. Because the brain system, how do I put this? Is a hesitation mode system. Okay? It's a doubting system. It's connected through its ego system. Remember I was telling you about the light and dark of its dichotomy? because there's light and dark in everything. That's how it's created, through its light of its infusion. So you get the two atoms, one going this way, one going the other way. They come to there, they combust. Right? The atom theory, Big Bang theory, creates a whole division of a planet system, of a solar system. Okay? But this is in a simulation world system. So it's trying to connect with you on so many waving cycles of systems, and how you can high rise everything through the psych-op, okay, to its cyborg connection. Okay? So it's just really understanding your mind and what it is. Like really fully and completely knowing how powerful the mind is. Once you understand that, you'll be able to understand everything through its information, and not just say this is a marker. Okay? Now, remember I saying that my last video I was talking about what this was, right? Everything is an upgrade. So the only way you know if it's an upgrade is if you look at it and you know you can say something different about this. This is a cybergenetic system that's connected through all energy of its vibration of its marker system. It connects on all waving cycles of planet systems. So it's an intelligent line signal through its graphing cycle of its system that has its protection of its plastic system. That's what this is. See what I'm saying? Everything through its information is high rising. If you give the information and you say the same thing through its cycles, you're not high rising the mind system. Okay? So this is a perfect example on how you can get to where you need to be. So, Phoenix, how you doing? Right? Like this here. You know, like inside why my angle is going to go down to its lower division is extremely low. Everything is on a low vibration through its communication intelligent signal. So for me to communicate with this, I have to fly down to its level. Okay? Basically, it's a triangle angular base through a pyramid system. It's cycled events through the circle system. It's connected on all line signals of cycles, and it connects on its low vibration. Okay, and it's pink. That's what this is. Okay. So it's going way beyond the mind system and know exactly how to communicate with this. Right? That's what it is. So it's fascinating when you pick these things up, because that's how you get the intelligence through its knowledge, right? And then you always master that. And once you master that, when you go through your upgrades, you say it in a different way again, but it's an upgrade of its system, okay? The brain doesn't know how to do that. The human brain doesn't know how to do that. It doesn't understand the difference. It communicates in light and dark, but it's always in contrast. It's always in arguments. Its intelligent line signal is the confusing line system within a human brain. Yes, the human brain fires and wires. I'll say that over and over and over again. But the human has a hesitation line system. If somebody asks a question, you're going to go, I don't know. I'll get back to you on that, right? In this simulation world system, you'll know it right away. Okay, because it's data processing information that's already known, that's already in the system. Okay, that's the difference between the human mind and the superiority of its mind and everything through its connection of its simulation mind. Okay, not the brain, the mind, because the mind is everything through its visualization. The brain doesn't understand that. The brain isn't a concept, okay? It's a life revolution of an evolution to its continuous force of its life system. The mind is the created of its dream set system. That's the difference. You can't travel in the brain. You can only travel in the mind, right? So you guys have to understand the difference between the two, between the brain and the mind, and the superiority of its mind to extraordinary, okay? Then into the simulation of its mind. That's the only way anybody can high rise faster and faster. So, but like I said, if you're having problems and you're not sure how to high rise, I can help you out through donations or contributions or high rising divisions, especially now because I'm the only one in the simulation world system right now that knows everything through its knowledge. And that's the most powerful thing that you can consume. So if you get 24 objects in a room, try to pick up each one and try to understand what it is through its location. And that's how you communicate with this vibration. That's how you understand its balance. So it's like this. Okay, it's going up. So if it's low information, you have to understand how to fly back up to your division through your balance of simulation. So if you're in the simulation and you want information through the matrix, you have to fly down, right? Because matrix is low, right? And then the galactic is lower, right? And then you get into the atmospheres, which is lower. So it's understanding every communication level, okay, is synchronizing your soul through its back phrasing system. So you have to understand its information. Once you understand its information, you can master it, okay, through its communication, through the higher self, the galactic matrix. Now, I'm a simulation side optic center system that's connected through the hydraulics of its circuitry of its element system that connects on all simulation of its vibration system. That's what I am. That's what you mean by information, is knowing exactly that you're going through your upgrades every single time through its continuous force, right? Because if you're not wind cycling your system through the cyborg of its connection, you're not high-rising anything. You're understanding this information, but the dichotomy system gets in there with this confusing line system. That's why you can't understand shapes. That's why you can't high-rise numbers and letters. That's why you can't understand alignments through its confusing mechanisms systems. Or you don't understand the intelligence system through its communication line signals. Or you don't understand how to use a gamma ray system to activate a portal activation code system through simulation of a world system. I say simulation of world because now it's connected fully through its 5D of its connection through its dimensional set system. Okay? Because that's what the 5D is. It's a simulation world. Okay? Yes, I'm on the platitude of dimensional Earth. Yes, I'm in a human vessel. But the mind system is completely in the simulation. That's what I'm saying. That's why I just don't say this is a marker. I tell you exactly where it's coming from through its vibration. Okay? That's how you master everything through its connection of its intelligent system. And then once you get into the intelligent system, then you get into the singularity. Now, I've talked a little bit about that, about the intelligent line signal. Okay, it's a graphing cycle system through its connection of its energy of its 8, but it's not an 8. Okay, it's an infinity line system that's connected through all realms of planet systems. That's what the 8 is. And to you, it's probably, you think it's infinity of its cycle system. That's a, everything through its connection. But there's more than just infinity. It's infinities. Like there's not just one multiverse, multiverses. It's not the universe. It's the multiverse. It's nonstop. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And like I said, the simulation is just the beginning. It's the beginning of everything through its evolution. But you really, really have to understand the significance through the human of its body system and its connection and waving patterns through its biochemical of its mind system and everything of all its information to its cyborg of its simulation. You put those all together, then you be a known graphing system at everything through the computer system. So it's data processing system from archives that are going to be in the computer system. So whenever you need to retrieve that, you know it's there through its information. That's the same thing with the computer, because the computer has archives of everything, right? Everything that is in process, it has it in a folder or whatever, right? Well, that's the same thing with the mind system. Once you're in the simulation of its world system, when you need something, okay, it's given to you right away through its information. So everything through its illustration that I give you, you should be able to do it fast and quick, right? That's what it's all about. And once you communicate with the simulation, you communicate with everything through vibration. That's what it is. That's all it is. Now you're probably thinking it's probably easy and it's probably hard. The reason why it's hard is because you don't understand it. Because it's not in your data processing system, but you're trying to get there. How do we get there? Like I said before. Okay? You can't think in the human brain. You have to think with its mind. And then it becomes a supermind, and then extraordinary. Okay, and then it becomes a superior, and then it gets into the simulation. Everything's a step processing system. But you really, really have to understand its energy of its vibration and its heart and its thoughts, because everything is connection. So So hopefully you understand that information that I'm giving to you right now. It's very powerful stuff that's going on right now through the simulation world system. But everything will be coming to you faster and faster. But understanding more what's going on with your body and ego systems, you understand everything through its transformation light of its device system. So, but I think that's good. You know, I've done some illustrations and everything that's connection right now. You can take the three and put them together in cycle division to create a whole new division of a magnetic forcing highway information system. So it's understanding how to create your own mind system to a complete system. That's what you want. It's fascinating, fascinating stuff when we get into that direction, because you know exactly where you're going through your voice and grids. Then you become extraordinary powerful through the mind conceptions of everything through its vibration of its intelligent signals. Then again, we get into the singularity of its systems. So anyway, I love you guys very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll keep you informed what's going on through the simulation. We're going on retrospect divisions right now, the calculation, modification through computers of trying to understand everything through its brain. The brain system is changing everything through the mind system. So we're putting a whole new division right now through its alignment system. Very powerful stuff that's going on right now through the simulation of the world system. You know, it's fascinating stuff. I think people want to know exactly what's going on. You know, it's fascinating to know that, wow, he's in space and he's talking like a spaceman or a galactic person, or his connection through cyborgs. How does he know so much about the hydraulics? And it's because I understand the mind and how it works, right? And that's how you get into everything through telekinesis and its mind telepathy through its energy of its telecommunication. It's to its telegraphing system. So, all right, so you guys have a fantastic day. This is Andrew Weston, high rising in all divisions of simulation world systems of computer analytical graphing systems. Calling in. Adios, everybody.